First Nations leadership in the 21st century is significantly different than where it was even 5 years ago. We've got now a lot of federal changes that are starting to impact our communities and causing a lot of issues that are going to wind up impacting quite drastically at our community levels. We've got the Financial Transparency Act, which basically shines the light on all of the financial activity that occurs within our community environments. You can also begin to realize that that Financial Transparency Act will have other significant challenges with respect to how much funding actually gets back out to the communities. And then also on a national level, there's been significant reductions in budgets that have impacted all of our organizations right across Turtle Island with respect to most of our federal budgets that have been reduced by about 60 to 70%. So that means that all of the AFN and all of the national organizations have seen some drastic budget reductions. Those reductions are starting to trickle down to our tribal councils, and they will start to trickle down to our communities. That means that there is less money out there, there's less opportunity to be able to engage government, federal government, and try to make any changes with respect to that. So that kind of process has really changed quite a bit. Also too, as you're probably all aware, on a federal level also, there's been a lot of attention brought to the national media spotlight with respect to racism and challenges that are existing, systemic racism and all of the issues that are associated with that. Now, racism is not acceptable in any environment, regardless of where you're at, and it's definitely not acceptable in Canada. Also too, impacting our communities on a national front and on a federal front is a lot of the issues that are associated, and we're seeing it really highlighted in the media with respect to, and that article that came out in the Maclean's magazine with respect to the conditions at our community level. We've got housing issues that are there, the third world conditions, we've got third world water conditions, we've got the highest number of youth in youth population that's up and coming, and we've got the highest number of youth who never complete grade 9, and very, very few that are even completing grade 10. So we've got educational levels that are challenged at a community level. We've got housing issues that are really prevalent at a community level, and we have no economic environment per se at a community level. So there's a tremendous amount of people that are on the social service ranks. And then also impacting our people at a community level is the large number of people who are being put into foster care and into social services to be raised in a whole different environment. So we've got all those issues that are prevalent and they're impacting our leadership today. What that actually means is that now leadership has to look at how they're going to change that whole process and become more dynamic at a community level. In other words, we've got a large number of people that are leaving, we've got large gangs that are starting to materialize, we've got more people incarcerated. We have to change that whole environment, and that's incumbent of us as community, as the community leaders, the chief, council, everybody has a significant role to play with respect to changing that environment for our youth. It's up to our communities to start looking at how do we make that happen. So we have to look across Turtle Island and realize that there needs to be economy brought to our community. That means that some of our communities actually do have economic development arms. And there's going to be another expose on APTN with respect to how those economic development arms are actually benefiting the communities. And we find that they're really not. So we've got significant challenges for leadership. We've got significant challenges at a community level. And it's up to us as the people within our community environments and our community leaders to be able to look at how do we provide solutions to our communities? How do we provide solutions to our youth? How do we get them involved and actively engaged in believing and having faith in themselves and hope in themselves and believing in their culture, so that they're not leaving their environments and winding up in all of the other challenges that are out there in the world. So we have to be more beneficial. We have to be more active and actively involved and engaged in economic development, because that is the key. When it comes down to it, we have to be able to provide employment for our youth at our community levels, but also employment opportunities and education opportunities and training opportunities that they can feel good about themselves. So that means that we need to really, really focus on that economic development component. So if you're interested in finding out more about the economic environment and all the opportunities that exist out there, because there are tons of them, and I can honestly tell you that there are a lot of corporate organizations that are wanting to assist us with making that development occur. There's a lot of manufacturing corporations that are out there that want to make I guess our conditions better. We've got a lot of green energy projects. We've got all kinds of projects that are out on the horizon that are really, really looking forward to working within our community environment. So if you're interested in finding out more about this, contact us.